I'm streaming Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, but old school gaming. Yeah, so let's see how this goes. First time properly streaming, so be interesting.
Paris. City of love, romance and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too. But ever since that day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death.
I remember this being such a pretty game back in the day. All the pixels! Obviously this is a remastered version, still really good looking. I know some people find point and click adventure games a bit boring, but I've always found the Broken Sword series really interesting. The story's great, the artwork's great, you know, they've got loads of comedy in there. Quite tempted just to skip so I can get into the game, but I know that's not good recording, so... And also this is very much camera test. I know that
when my editor called.
Caller, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away.
creepy.
Here I was, the palace of the media king and the ice cream. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
That's a Karen if I've ever heard one.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
Ah, the talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose.
Sorry about that. I think the video just stopped on the stream.
Excuse me for one
Don't know
moment.
what I'm doing.
There you go.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat. My God, what? Monsieur Carchon!
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She
Called her
would
a
have been
bitch.
top on my list of suspects. if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Oh, yay. So I can do stuff now. So, yeah, before the cutscene, I don't want to talk over cutscenes and things like that, but before that, I was just saying this is very much a camera test. I know there is a nice big window there, so you probably can't see my ugly face. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a test today, just to make sure the camera works. It's going through on stream with the sound, which I just need to check. Just to make sure. Yeah, that's coming through. So I'm very much a newbie to Twitch streaming. I've recorded a few snippets on my YouTube channel, which should be at the top of the overlay, hopefully, if I've done that right. And they were very much just like captures from PlayStation 4. I've been a console player for quite a long time. I got into it quite young as well. So I think the first games that I actually bought with my pocket money was Final Fantasy VII. So obviously the remake's out, hoping I can get my PlayStation linked up to that so I can have a bit of gameplay on there. But yeah, and Resident Evil, but I had to get my dad to go and buy me that one, but don't tell anyone. I've recently done myself a PC build, so I'm jumping into the world of PC playing. One of my favourite games when I was obviously a lot younger was the Broken Sword series, so I thought I would do a bit of gameplay with those. I've got, I think, 5 of them now. Really love the artwork, love the storyline, the characters, the comedy, the action adventure, and I know not a lot of people like point and click, so if it bores you, I'm really sorry, but this is a bit of a nostalgia for me. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. This will probably be a very short stream. Like I said, the camera's not very good because of the light. All of the decent cameras on Amazon and across are either extortionate or out of stock until July, maybe even later. Hope you're all staying safe in lockdown, and whatever you're doing is obviously what you enjoy. So let's just have a little go of Broken Sword 1, Shadow of the Templar.
Pierre Cochon, humble servant of La France. The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions.
I'm kind of glad as well that this, I can't remember if the other game had voice acting in it, but it gives you subtitles and voice acting. A lot of the YouTubers that I watch, you know, there's a lot of script and they have to read through it, but hopefully if I don't talk over it, then you guys can sort of do that yourself, because I'm quite lazy. It does say that in my profile as well, that I am a lazy gamer.
A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job. This was the work of the mime. Unless the cat was in on it too. I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself. The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
Oh, Nico, I don't know about you, but I'd be absolutely shaking like a shitting dog stood on that ledge.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him.
He's not happy at all, is he? Bless him.
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down.
It's not exactly a face of, oh, I've just been killed. It's just like, you know, he got pickles on a burger that he didn't want pickles on, and he's just not that happy about it.
His lifeless eyes stared blankly at nothing. I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend. In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence.
Hi,
There was
Swanky.
no
Sorry.
going back now.
Camera seems fine from the window size. It's just the lighting, like I said. Crackling in the background for you guys. It might be the headset. Like I said, I'm a bit of a noob. I'll try and sort that out. I'll do. It's coming through fine from my headset though. So I just, yeah, the lighting is a problem. I've got crappy blinds up. I kind of need a blackout blind, but that's on a later base if I'm honest. But yeah, I'll check out that sound. Thank you very much for that.
Carchon had been shot. I opened his eyes. Best to leave the crime scene as I found it.
Oh, come on, Nico, stop playing around with corpses, love. It's a bit minging.
It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. When I was a little girl, Papa used to take me on the Bateau Mouche as a treat.
I can't
It
actually
was
remember
one of my hair
in
clips.
the original
favourite, in
games
fact.
if you actually saw this, because I have played this this sort of remastered version before. I've played it on Steam. I can't remember if you actually see this bit for some reason. Just that little inkling of nostalgia back in my head. I think you start off with the clown, and then Nico comes in later. I don't think you get to see this part of that. So.
The police could turn up at any minute.
Oh, so it might be the
Somewhere
mic.
There were clues to
Yeah.
the murder, and I
don't
needed
know
to
how
find
fix
them.
that. It might just be my crackly breathing, to be honest with Swanky. I'm a dirty, dirty smoker, so
Louis
sometimes it might just come
table
out like I'm
with an
about a
antique
4-year-old man
clock.
voice.
The Melder had taste. But hey, with a husband that rich, taste is easy. I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful. There was a tiny hole in the tabletop. Part of the inlay had been chipped away. There was
Oh.
a tiny hole in the tabletop.
There we go. I'll remember how to do this at some point.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff.
Oh, thank you, Swanky. How bad is it that when they remaster games and you start playing them and it's all new and it's all, it's like, oh, I've never seen this bit before, and you kind of forget the original games. I've been playing the Final Fantasy remaster, and Final Fantasy VII, like I said at the start of my stream, is like one of the first games I bought with my own pocket money back on the PlayStation 1 when I was a little kid. And I played it wasn't a remaster really, it was just the game was imported onto PlayStation 4, and you get all those feel goods when you're going through the old games that you get. And
Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something
Nico, calm
going
down.
on here, and I had to get answers
yeah, when they
before the
put
cops
new
arrived.
things in
And
there,
she'd been rude to
it's
me,
great
so she
having
had it
something
coming.
new, but then your old fogey nostalgia sort of comes into play. Oh, Jason Manford, he's actually quite funny. What I'll do, Swanky, is if you're streaming this game recently, I might have to follow your stream a little bit, because I have got a terrible memory on occasion. Let's go talk to this woman before Nico starts having a fit.
She was deep in conversation. She totally ignored
Final
me.
Fantasy VII, I think. I mean, I've played games quite a bit. Sorry if I'm talking more than playing the game. It might irritate some people, but Final Fantasy VII was I think it was the cornerstone of like a gaming addiction. Also, the first Resident Evil, because I love my horror movies and things like that. Probably as a kid, I was exposed to stuff like Freddy Krueger. Not a lot of people will know of the movie, but it's Troll. All the hacker slasher movies, and it was just a little bit more interesting to me than like Thomas the Tank Engine or stuff like that. I think the only one that really freaked me out was Arachnophobia, the original, where I hid behind the couch and I was like, no. But you've already streamed the remake? See, I was console, and now I'm going to obviously PC on my first PC build. I wish I could show you guys, but if I turn the camera, you probably won't be able to see anything.
She was deep in conversation.
But yeah, I
She
ramble
totally
a
ignored
lot
me.
in real life anyway, so if that comes through on the stream, you're getting the real me. You've got the real me with the hair, the lockdown hair.
It was a tube
So,
of
fun
acrylic
fact.
paint. French ultramarine. Just the colour I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favourite colour.
For God's
I'm gonna
sake,
give
keep
you
the
a
damn
follow,
stuff.
Swanky, because we are brethren in the games world. There we go. Right, she's off the phone now. Oh, I don't know where you guys are in the world, but it's quite hot in the UK, particularly in the northwest, which is where I'm based. I've got all the windows open. I've got like a little breeze coming off the fans of my computer as well. But I am still sweating cobs.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
Thanks for the follow, Swanky. Now we can just chat inane stuff about the old retro games we used to play. I can't believe those games are retro now.
I'm so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Collard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know,
See.
most of them women.
Sorry, I'm such a noob streamer that I'm kind of watching my own stream on my phone, which I've been advised to do, as
Why
well
would a
as
mime
just
want to kill
one
your
screen.
husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the
I
husbands
think
in
I spent
Paris
enough
for
on one
start.
screen.
This is
then
quite
to
a
get
scoop for
second
you.
one. I haven't got a
I
very big
suppose you're
desk either,
already
so it's all very
inventing the
new.
headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronise me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if my editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Oh,
Well,
there
don't
you
expect
go.
my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really.
Just
Not
wondering
much,
if
was
the
it?
wire
The
for
dutiful
this is
wife?
catching on my t-shirt.
That was my role.
Might have to adjust
He never
the
talked,
mic a
never
little
let
bit.
me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
I should really be another.
Your
but
husband
we'll
invited me here
go
today
the good
because he
route to
needed me.
start with.
I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
Bloody hell, Swanky,
You
that's a
really
lot of
do
things
have a
to run
moral sense,
through,
don't you?
Elgato and
I
MacBook.
trust so few people.
And perhaps Pierre really did
I think
that
the
you
thing
could
that
help.
always throws me
Of
off with
course it
Twitch
wouldn't
is
have
that
stopped him seducing
the
you
delay,
too.
so it comes
Here,
through on your phone
take
really
this.
slow.
It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at
I
the
used
end
to
of the
stream
hall.
off my
It was
PlayStation
Pierre's
4
I
party
rarely
box.
went in there.
So
I
anyone that
couldn't.
was watching the
I was too
stream was
scared
of
of what I
course
might
like a few
find.
seconds behind, and it was always a bit of a nightmare to try and get people on there.
Thank
I
you.
might get Party Box for the
I
PC
promise
actually,
you
because
won't
that's always a fun
regret
game to
this.
play with people. I won't be able to watch the stream on my phone because I'll have to use my phone to there. But yeah, okay. So she's upset. Obviously.
There was no one I needed to phone. Not until I had solved this case.
I've just been rambling that much.
The tube
that
of paint from Imelda's easel. French ultramarine.
I kind of forgot
key.
what I was doing.
Maybe a safe key.
Oh, this game's so pretty. Just the level of detail that you get in some of these games, like particularly the older ones. It doesn't have to be ultra realistic. It could, you know, even just the 2D effect is quite pleasing to the eye. The music in the background, obviously when I stop talking as well,
Pierre Carchon again.
everything really goes
His
really
eyes
nice
seem to
together
follow
with
me
these
around the
games.
room.
I can't remember which game it is. It's a little bit later on in the season, in the series, sorry. But I think there's a bit more action, clicky button stuff, timed, and I remember getting all panicky and sweaty whenever those type of things had come up.
The door was locked.
Oh, Swanky Hampshire's lovely. I used to work in the Midlands, sort of like sort of rugby way. And the company I work for at the moment, their head office is down in Maidenhead. So, yeah, that sort of area of the country is really nice. I used to work for a company, I can't remember where, there was St Albans, which I think is Hampshire way. I might be completely, my geography's crap, by the way.
A fine Baroque door. It would look great in my
I
apartment.
think the UK is going to have a nice summer. It's a shame that we're still technically on this lockdown. I'm not going to go into the politics of lockdown and stuff like that.
It was going to take more than a hair clip to open the door. I needed the key. Now we were getting somewhere.
I thought I'd actually be a bit more nervous, this being like the first proper camera screen, because one, you never like how you sound, and you never like how you look on camera, so I'm actually quite grateful for the darkness, to be fair, because I keep checking to make sure I look half decent. I've had a shower, I've brushed my teeth. What more do you want from me? I'm not allowed outside the house. Well, I am. I've already been shopping this morning.
The painting showed the Carchons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie? There was the very faintest of clicks. Behind the picture was a safe.
I need to find the code.
This wasn't the time for me to lie on the sofa doing my Marie Antoinette impression. Though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why.
Let's have a look on the desk.
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision. I didn't need a sheet of blotting paper. Not while it was blank.
Oh, I need to.
I didn't want to take the tray, but I knew that I could use it. My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda.
I love the casual theft in these games as well.
It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved.
It's like, you know, there's a crime scene going on. Oh, do you know what? I'll just start taking stuff. Not that it matters to you.
Locked. Not surprising, really.
I know for a fact I haven't got the code for this save, because from memory I think it's a little bit later on in the game. Oh no, mid-decoration. Well, I've just sort of... Oh, in fact, I might
In
be
the
wrong.
safe was some kind of artifact.
Yeah,
There were
it's a
strange
nightmare when you
symbols
decorate. You
on
know,
its
just sort of
surface.
set something up temporary.
It looked
just
like the
here,
printer's
and it'll
blocks I'd
probably
made at art
change
school.
again in a couple of
If
weeks.
there
I don't
was
know.
one thing
So
I'd
the
learned
windows
about
there,
symbols,
it's created a lot of
they
light,
are
but yeah, it's
always
not as bad as
important.
peeling
But
paint.
these symbols scratched
Just
into
put
stone were
we should just put
impossible
up
to read. I
like
needed
sheets
to
or
find a
something like
way
that,
of
make it
printing
look really
them.
professional.
At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact. and Carchon was past caring.
I do need to get some sort of overlay that goes over the games to let me know when people comment and follow and things like that. I'm using Stream Elements at the moment, OBS Live, and just literally hammering it out of Google.
Putting the paint straight on the cylinder would be...
Alright, Nico,
Rolling the cylinder in the tray.
I forgot that you have to do things in a certain way, which makes sense once you've done them, but when you're getting impatient, you just
I'd
wanna...
spread blue paint over the bottom of the tray. It was ruined. I was a very bad girl, but also quite a clever one.
Taking all the things! Yeah, just steal random bits
I
from
rolled
people's
the
houses.
artifact in the paint until it was completely coated.
Use them to break into other places.
I didn't need a sheet of blotting paper,
It's like that.
not while it was blank.
It's covered in thing now. I always remember like the memes and stuff like that
Genius! The roller and the paint worked just as I
on like
planned.
Link breaking into
But
people's
what did it
houses,
say?
smashing all the pots and just fucking off with all the money.
It was some kind of coded message. It read, "Sub judice." I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The Conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité.
Yeah,
by
I
the
think I'm
river,
going to keep it
housed
quite
the
basic
ancient
myself.
locals.
Like I said, I'm
Sub
not like-
judice could, in
this is
this
probably my
case,
first
mean literally
proper
under the
stream with a
locals,
camera and everything,
below
actually
the
playing games. And
Conciergerie. I was pretty sure
I
I'd
get it
found
too
all I could
complicated,
here.
I know I'll
And
just-
besides, all this opulence was
I don't
making
know,
me
I'll just
pine
lose
for
my
my
head
regular
over it.
life of poverty. This was a huge
it's
story.
something to do for fun.
It was also
for now.
one
As
heck
soon
of
as
a
it stops
puzzle
becoming
with a
fun,
lot
I
of pieces
don't
missing.
think I'll carry
But
it on.
I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
I think we're going to be getting up to the part of the game where the original started. With good old Josh. I'll definitely have a look at some of your
Did you
stream
find
games,
anything
Swanky. It'd be
useful?
interesting to see how other
This
people do it.
carving. Do you
But I
know
have to
anything
keep
about
it
it?
quite
It was
basic.
Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
Please, I need to know.
He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask,
Don't worry. You were never here.
sub judice was the key.
She wasn't that much
I
of a
was
bitch,
going
I
to have to
thought.
find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the conciergerie, it would have to be from there. Carchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed.
See, a lot of
The
this game
cross
now
looks
is coming
familiar.
back from
I'd seen it before.
memory.
It was embroidered on the lace cloth I'd picked up at Carchon's apartment. I knew I was on the right track.
Just kind of know what I'm doing, but I know I know a little bit later down the line I'll be totally stuck.
I tried pushing the fence, but it wouldn't move. A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Oh, I haven't got that problem, unfortunately. No kids to speak of. This is where you see my epic puzzle skills. Totally not making it. I feel like I've done something wrong here. Oh no, there we go. I just caught myself up here. $10 later. I'm just going backwards. This is gonna absolutely burn my head out now. I need to move that one. So that actually does need to be over there. I just made this puzzle harder for myself. And to be fair, tweeting, I don't really use Twitter. It's always thrown me through a bit of a loop. Like, not really. I'm just going backwards now, but I think I just need to remove this one. That's definitely going back. Oh, here we go. Oh, you idiot. This is where people stop like watching the stream because they're just screaming at I do it a lot when I'm watching like YouTube videos, like shouting at the screen. Is that, you've missed it? Start this. I thought I had it. Oh. Let's try this one. Just totally get people raging over the fact that I can't do a simple block puzzle. Great start. Great start to a great stream. You can see how much of an idiot I am. I'd like to blame it that it's too early in the morning, but we're on 1 o'clock in the afternoon now, so yeah, it's gonna go well. I think I moved that one too far forward. This would usually be at like a point where one of my friends would grab a controller off me and say, "Let me do it." I can play games too. Oh, I'll go that way. Oh, has that been left in the same mess I left it at before? Yeah, I think I remember that being when I played this last time. Sat here for ages just moving blocks around, and then for some reason it just pops into your head that you've done it. Okay. I can't remember the guy's name actually. I'll follow him on Facebook. He's a quite I think a famous magician, and he does a lot of like puzzle solving on like his Facebook videos and things like that. And it blows my mind. I think they're like the smartest people in the world. Probably because it's not something that I could do. I think that it's a similar feeling to this. You feel like you're getting somewhere, but there's just a little bit. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. It probably will be. Perfect opportunity just to talk. So if I move that, it's going to block that off. So I can't even get away with just doing like a little sneaky Google on how to do it. You know, just do a bit of cheating, casual cheating. There's nothing wrong with casual cheating. Not if you're in a relationship, obviously. Does anyone want to jump on TeamViewer and do it for me? Oh, this is going to burn my head out. I can be such a stroppy cow as well when I don't, I can't figure something out straight away. I'm very impatient. I think I've made it worse again. I know there's a way to do it because I have done it before without cheating. But I think that was when my brain was a lot younger. Oh!
Yes. One down. One to go.
I've done it, Swanky. It's okay. You're right. It's just one of those that you just keep clicking and then it's all done. I think the thing is because I'm just flicking through stuff so quickly, by the time your message comes through on Twitch, I think I'd literally just done it. Plus, I'm eating the microphone. I can't even remember what I was going to say then, to be honest. I just get so distracted. Probably not the best kind of personality to do Twitch streaming and things like that is someone like me who gets distracted completely. Oh, the block's not moving out. It's one of those, just keep clicking and nothing makes sense, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've just moved that. Oh wait, if I move that one, I've done it. I know, I remember this one being an absolute nightmare for me because I just couldn't get my... I think I need all those up there so I can move this. I need to move that one more of that way. And I've just blocked everything in. That. Bing! I actually used my brain for once.
Convent education for honing your lockpicking skills.
And the gate just falls off anyway. Good times.
For a room full of junk, that was one very sophisticated lock system. This place was definitely fishy, in more ways than one.
Thanks for your help though, but like you said, it is one of those that you just have to do it, but I think I used my brain a little bit in that one. For a change. I think that's another thing I like about these games, is you do have to kind of use your brain in them.
An old shell case.
I mean, I know...
I wondered what that was.
I suppose it's just my opinion, so by all means, anyone, you feel free to disagree. But I think a lot of games now
The brass case was smooth
is
and perfectly round.
you can quite happily sit there and just disengage your brain. I think it's, you know, you just become disassociated with everything on the outside world, which is nice. That's one of the things I like with gaming. You can sort of go into a different world and do different things, but I still like to have that bit of brain activity, as much as it frustrates me. As much as it
And
frustrates me.
Dexter were carved on either side. Now any good convent girl like me knows the old Roman for left, right, left, right. But what did it mean here?
Are you not going to put that up for me? Thank you.
Mystery solved.
It's great work because you
Stone
feel like you've achieved
slotted
something.
into the hole with a satisfying click.
I think that's another one of the things that I like about these point and clicky ones is
Rolling out the
You
painted
can-
it red. Subjudice.
see my brain's just
Below it
disengaged
there's a
out, and you can
sequence
sort
of
of
letters.
you get a feeling of accomplishment when you find something,
DSS.
or when you put something together. So SD.
A satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position. It felt like tumblers in a safe.
DSS. DSS.
Another click. Another step closer. I love the sound of locks clicking open.
Oh, Nico, you little devil. I don't know if I should have picked that up actually. I keep forgetting what to do.
I removed the stone cylinder. Ut lex vel ut next sumito. To the law or unto death, submit. I guess these people didn't believe in liberté, égalité, or fraternité. Yes, I'll admit it. I was a swot at school. I also wore lipstick and the nuns never knew.
Oh, Nico, dangerous girl, you.
Oh my god! The slab came down with a hell of a force. With nothing to hold it up, the cross dropped back down again. If I was going to get a closer look at the panel, I'd have to find a way of keeping the cross up.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Lifting the cross closed the entrance door and also opened some kind of stone panel. Ingenious.
Yeah, those really bad hints that that's so ambiguous. I think the word is that, you know.
The stone cross was propped up. Now I was getting
I've had a few
somewhere.
of those. I'm getting flashbacks as it is. Let's go and have a look what this is. I do remember some of the puzzles in these games
I
being
touched the
really,
slot.
really
Nothing bad happened,
difficult.
which was good. I've
Because
always
you have to
been
do
attached
things
to my
in
fingers.
a,
This
obviously
slot
in a
is
certain
designed
way
for
the puzzle
something
to work. So,
specific.
for example, when
But
we
what?
had the stone cylinder, we had to put the paint in the tray first, then the cylinder, then we had to roll the cylinder on there, where I was trying to put the cylinder in there. Oh, talking over this is just going off memory now. But yeah.
The artifact slotted into the hole perfectly. Behind the old walls, I could hear some kind of mechanism groaning into life, but whatever had been triggered had now jammed.
I don't know, Swanky, if you may
The
have
gap
played
was
it.
too
It's
thin
a
for me
really
to
old
get a
game, but
grip.
Mist.
I needed something thin enough to prise the door
And I
open.
just remember, it's not open worldy, obviously, but it's like first person puzzle creating and, well, puzzle solving. I remember being so frustrated with that because it's one of those old games that didn't give me any hints. There was no sort of Google to jump on and help, and I think they remade it and released it on PC, but I've not played that yet, so that might be an interesting one.
A hidden door. This was getting interesting. Shame the mechanism jammed. I was going to have to find a way to prise it open.
This is probably me.
I removed the shell case. The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up. The cross didn't drop back down.
Alright, Nico. Come on.
The gap was too narrow. I needed something flatter to work into it.
See, this is a little puzzle in itself, and the only reason I knew to use the shell casing is because I played this game before and went through all that trial and error. But yeah, like little kid me was just clicking on everything and hoping for the best. I think that's the majority of point and click games, to be fair, just like click everything, see
The
what
stone
works.
slab had flattened one end of the shell case.
I don't think I'm going to spoil this game for anybody, but I think one of my favourite ones is the Irish pub for this. I don't know why, I just thought it was really funny. And the puzzly parts that really did my head in as well.
I needed a gap for leverage. The slab was...
So now I've got to go all the way through doing this again. Yeah, I remember when I first played it, it's just like, I didn't even think to use the bullet casing for the cross, in all fairness. It just didn't make sense to me. But then having to obviously undo the whole puzzle and then flatten the bullet casing and then do all this again is just another joyous element of this game where, honestly, the people that made this were so clever. It's infuriating clever.
Another good use for a shell case. Another secret room.
Who knew a shell
Somebody
case
had something
was
to hide.
Broken Sword's
But
version of a
was
Swiss
it what
Army
I was
knife?
looking for?
I hope if I can't remember. It's like things. There's some things that you have to leave there, and some things that you have to pick up and take with you as well. Oh, and that was one of them. I should have left. Here we go again. You know when you have that feeling that it's like, don't take it, and then another part of your brain goes, take it, you might need it later. That's exactly what I've just done there. Screen's dark, camera's dark. Everything's dark.
Wow. Through the darkness, I could see that this was a stateroom. But for what purpose? And how did it tie in with Carchon?
I think the frustrating part as well is that light is shining right on my screen, so a dark part of the game. Is this? I'm sure there is.
Amazing.
It's a good job my
The
memory's
thing
not that
still
bad.
worked. The room lit up bright as day.
If it's not there... I don't know, I think they made everything look really pretty. Obviously they've put a lot of stuff in here now, but I think the original, I think personally I found that a lot harder because I've never seen anything like that, if that makes sense. You know, you've never had to go through and sort of solve puzzles
That
that way.
wasn't going to help.
I don't even know what that is.
A slot next to the safe door. All I had to do was find something to fit into it. It was like being back in kindergarten. All I needed now was a shape that would fit the slot.
You went to some crazy kindergarten, love.
I wasn't going to find anything in this old desk. It hadn't been used for years.
We had like a sand pit and a water pit when we were in kindergarten. I think I know what she means by those like slotty block things, but I've never played with one in my life. If it's not nailed down, take it.
Inside the drawer, I found a note written in some kind of code.
I might have to check out Jason Manford's one. Obviously after
It was
this bit, 'cause
pretty
he's playing
clear
the
from the
original,
lack of
just to get a
dust
few hints.
that someone had been working very recently at this desk.
Yeah, I totally agree. Have you, I went through a phase of playing those search games. So it's kind of like point and click, but you have one of those, you know, it just gives you a screen full of crap and you have to find things in that. It's like point, click and search.
Oh my god. The sheet was a printout
And
with my
that
personal information.
That's frustrating. Sometimes they'll
Everything
have
from my favorite food to my waist size. They
the
were right
name
about
of the
Jockey.
thing.
But come on, guys.
Sometimes
I'm
they'll
a size
have just a
10.
shadow.
There was even a
but
picture of
obviously
me
a lot of
taken
these
with a
games
telephoto
come
lens.
from,
Carchon wouldn't have
say
taken
for
those
example
pictures
America.
himself.
So what
This
they might
was
call
and
an item,
organised.
like
I
let's
was
pick an
part
easy
of it.
one. So for the
And people were
UK,
getting murdered.
chips are fries. In the US, and our crisps are their chips. So it's that kind of different wording. So it'll have something random on the screen.
This was the article
And I won't
I'd
have a
written
clue
about
what
the
it is. I'll
costume
just start
killer.
clicking everything.
My suspicions
using
were right.
hints.
Carchon had cut it out. 2 businessmen had been killed. One in Italy, one in Japan. In each case, the killer had worn a costume. A penguin, and then a snowman. But that wasn't the only link between the 2 murders. Both the victims
But
had
definitely
been
there is a
big media
mindset
do-gooders.
for
And I
these
proved
type
they
of
were
games.
just the
It's
opposite.
not like running from
So,
A to B to get
how
a
did
key
they
to then
fit in
open
with
C.
Carchon?
You know, a lot of games have a lot of running about as well. If you've ever played like an RPG game, you tend to run across all of the worlds.
The dregs at the bottom of
to
the
get
map
what you
hadn't
need.
dried out or
But
gone
with these
mouldy.
ones, it's like you pick
It wasn't more than a day
a bullet
old.
casing, a hair clip, like random pieces of crap like that, and then being able to use them in something else, and your brain doesn't automatically put those things together. It's like pulling that drawer again.
Damn, don't you just hate it when that happens?
You think when you just open a drawer, that's it, but obviously the game lets you
A
do something
photo.
else with it.
Long lost had fallen down the back of the drawer. It was very old, but there was no mistaking the guy in the foreground. Carchon. Behind him were soldiers, a burning village and a corpse. The photograph was cropped on the right-hand side. Somebody else in the picture obviously didn't want to be in it anymore. I wasn't surprised. This was Africa in the 60s. An uprising was being brutally suppressed. And here was Mr. Media himself. Carchon, doing the suppressing. The photograph was not just powerful evidence. It was also my ticket to one explosive story. The drawer had come out easily enough, but wouldn't fit back into place.
See if I've got anything.
A door like that always has something important behind it. I had to find a way to unlock it.
Have I got to go and get that cylinder now? Right, if I put the bullet casing in, so that looks like a cylinder hole, it might just be an exaggerated keyhole, and I'm going to end up getting myself locked in this room again. I have to go through that puzzle, so apologies again. But if I keep the cross up, will that reset the trap?
I removed the shell case. A slot next to the safe door. All I had to
Shove her fucking shoulders at me again. She's like, come on. That was for the...
The desks were covered with a layer of dust. No one had worked here for years.
I know I have to get that stupid cylinder out there, but at the minute my brain is not working as it should. It's like my memory is just shot to shit.
There was nothing else in the drawer.
This is another one where people are shouting at the screen and just calling me an idiot. I don't blame you. I do the same to me too.
It was an old circuit breaker, like something from a Frankenstein movie.
Also, coming into the scene, she sort of walks straight into the room, completely sort of missing that that part of the puzzle where you have to find a generator. I remember when I first played this style remake, I was just clicking all over the room until it's sort of like a little
The
blinking
cross
red light.
didn't need to be propped up.
Listen, I think I need this. But if that door will close, I think. Why do you hate me?
Moving the skiff would only damage.
Yeah, I know I need the cylinder to open that safe.
The
but
slab
I
was
don't
too
know.
heavy for me to lift.
And now I have to go through all this again. To go through all this again and try and figure it out in my little brain on how to get the cylinder out. So that closes that door and opens that up. So I don't think I need the cylinder again. The gun casing, have I missed anything I've not clicked? No. This is me just trying to chat my brain into working and figuring it all out. Do I put something in that doorway? No, I can't. That's not an option in that one.
The drawer had come out easily enough.
Oh no, I remember these as well. I remember that being such a pain. It's like a word search and an anagram all in one.
It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie.
How did I get that cylinder out?
One thing was clear. My article, the congealed coffee was...
There's definitely something I've missed. This time memory is not helping me at all.
There was nothing else.
Memory is not helping.
The flags had faded, but their message was still pretty clear. Fascist regalia, a message of hate. The desks were covered with a layer of dust. No one had worked here for years. I wasn't going to find anything in this.
I'll tell you what you can do. You can tell me how to get the cylinder out without that door
A
closing.
door
That's
like
what you
that
can do,
always has something important. A slot.
Just go off the wall with this one. Yeah, shrug your shoulders. I know you would. Maybe.
It was a... Turning the lights off wasn't going to...
You still did it though, didn't you?
That was more sensible.
You've got a game character just taking the piss out of me now. So if I pull that out, that door closes. I don't want to be bothering with that one. Maybe I've got something that I can put in there instead of the cylinder. Something else work? Where we're just sort of hoping for the best, something random like an elephant will fit in there. I remember that you picked up a note encoder with a cipher. Yeah, can the bullet jam the other door? See, there's you've got the little pointy thing. Let me go see.
I removed the shell.
I see what you mean, Swanky, because I'm sure there was at some point that you sort of jammed something in a door and it kind of worked.
The cross didn't need...
No, it doesn't need to be propped up now because it's open. See, when I've got an item in my hand, it's there, but I can only go in and out.
While Cachon's stone cylinder was in the hole, the door back out remained closed.
But I can't get in that room from that way, so... I know I need to do that cipher thing, but I really don't want to. I'm just glad all this isn't in French. It does have to be kept up. That's one problem I'm gonna have. And I remember this one being a bit of a ball ache, even though I haven't got any. I remember I had to figure out something really. So if you look at the single letters, that might be completely wrong. At least it's not in French. Close the window because it's too hot. So apologies if you can hear them in the background. Need to try and get the double letters. I was thinking the that one is on its own, and this A and I are the only two that really go on their own. Yeah, the double letters do make sense. That one. I have a feeling that's A. Maybe that could be A and D, and I think this. I honestly think this is the way that I did it, and it didn't work last time. But I'm going to give it a go for the sake of looking like an idiot. Oh, that's not right, is it? So they don't work. I'm sure A and I are the only ones that really go together. There's nothing out if you're speaking proper English anyway. So double letters. What I'm gonna do is I feel like I'm just avoiding one puzzle with another puzzle. I've had to get that bloody thing out. I remember thinking these look like S's as well. But that doesn't look right unless they're saying ass. Could be. Do you know how hard it is to try and think of fucking words that have got double letters in there when you actually need to think about it? It's like a 3-letter word with the 2 last letters at the end. All? No, because then that'd make that al. Yeah. Come back for the save part. So this is the joy that I have now, is trying to figure this one out. You can probably see me pointing on the screen, but I should probably use my cursor. It's like this word and this word is the same word. OF, maybe. That kind of makes sense. Off, off, off. So if I change that to as, that'd be ass. I don't think that's the right way. And I remember... Oh wait, or it could be 2. It's me thinking I'm a genius and I've solved it. So I'm just trying to make words that sort of fit into sentences. So like the, but then there's not really a lot of... This is going to be an interesting one. What time is it? 1:30. Oh, this camera test has gone on for a lot longer than I thought it would. It was me drivelling on and acting like an absolute fool. And very, very clearly mentally challenged when it comes to puzzles. I remember when I did this last time, I did the smaller words, but now it's just completely gone out of my mind. I recognise the letter and I kind of remember what it says, but I can't. There's not a lot of letters that go together. It's like O, S, F. Just going through the alphabet now, so it's not within a 3-letter word anyway. Oh yeah, it might be worthwhile looking at the newspaper reports. Oh, thank you. I'm just a natural talker. People tell me to shut up all the time. That is a good shout with the newspapers. Funnily enough, when I'm playing these type of games before, I used to talk to sounds like, yeah, it's making a really good impression of myself on the first proper stream, but I used to talk to myself a lot, going, oh, I wonder where that is. And I think that's just...
My articles about... One thing was clear.
I think Nico's name is in this, maybe. I think the main thing was I just wanted to test the camera. There's not much I can do about the sunshine outside. I don't want really it to rain. I probably should be outside doing something in the sun. But I wanted to test out the camera, I wanted to test out the sound. Obviously, Swanky, I know you mentioned that there's a bit of feedback. I don't know whether that's actual scratching coming from these wires, so I'll do a little bit more of a test when I come off this. Yeah. It's I can kind of hear scratching every time I move my head, because I've got a super dry t-shirt on and the embellishments on there keep catching the wire of this, and it just makes a scratchy noise that I can hear. So I don't know if it's consistent, like buzzing through the mic or anything like that. But it's first time doing the full, well, doing a test stream with a camera, headset on the PC, playing a game that I enjoy. I think I did, just with regards to the Steam element settings, I did a little bit of a run on Elder Scrolls Online, which is traumatic because I'm used to having a controller in my hands, so I'm now using like WSAD, which I just feel like, even though I've got tiny fingers, I feel like the two scrunched up together, so I've got friends helping me with that one. But yeah, I thought I'd try a little chilled out point and click adventure from old school. I say chilled out, my head is absolutely minced from this now. You'll probably find I use a lot of like northern slang as well, so yeah, that's an interesting one. Other people's name, it was the dead guy. Carshon was the dead guy. But I did have a look at that, so Carshon, I always think that one's Carshon, but it's not. not cheating, but I'm gonna get a little bit of paper somewhere and just write Carshon's name down. It's not really that hard. So we've got 2 C's in that as well. So let's see if we can find something that's got the same letter at the start as the 4th one. So I chew pens as well, which I know a lot of people find is a disgusting habit. So 7 letters. Doesn't look like his name's in there unless I'm completely missing the point. There's 7 letters. I think that letter was like a random Z or something like that. Because it's nowhere else in the doodah. See, I'm doing all sorts of gross things now. I'm kind of into the game. I'm biting my nails, chewing pens. If I start flossing my teeth with my hair as well, I think I'll call it quits. See, there's 2 two-letter words. That's concierge, that one. Weird little accent. Of course the N looks like an N. Well, that didn't work. I thought this big long word might be concierge. Unless I spelled it wrong. No. Maybe they use Pierre. I've been using his last name. 6 letters. I am okay with spelling when I have to, but maybe it was Pierre and not Carchon that they were talking about. I keep putting my hands towards my face and I know that's not. So double letter before the N. There we go. I have 1 word. Yay. I kind of hope that's the right one. It doesn't seem like it. I don't think it is. Because then none of these words make sense. There's me thinking I'd solved it. Idiot. This is probably becoming like Pierre, yeah, sure it's in there. Hi, Winring. PI. Monkey face. I thought Pierre, but I thought it was that word, but then it just changes, like all these other things like that. N would be a P. If that was P, Pierre, that'd be a P, and there's loads of like singular P's everywhere. So I'm just trying to see. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Oh no. Like the first word is Pierre and there's me looking around. So I think that is report. If I remember correctly. And yeah, I did get the 2 and 2 right. That makes sense. Together. So for my old brain now, it's just like these kind of puzzles are just like epic. That must be an A. Great. This is. First word, Pierre Swanky, yeah, I got that. I got this now. Take great care, I think it is. Winring, I always do this trying to find the short words, and then when it starts to make sense, I fill in the rest. I tried that before, Winring, and it was, I got the I keep pointing with my fingers, but you guys can't see, so I got the 2 and 2, and then I just couldn't figure anything else out. Care, I think. But it is one of those that you have to sort of just figure. That's coincidence. And there's always one word that doesn't make sense. So, both. Too urgent to wait. I've got this now, and then once we get stuck at the last part. So what have I got? I've got quite a few letters still left to go. Report. So I've already got 2. Oh, follow. Of course it is. I think sometimes I'm trying to, did I click the wrong button then? Yeah, I did. F. All of us who came together in something, I think that's C or something like that. July. Maybe that's not Z.
I had decrypted the note.
Hey.
It read, here. Full report to follow.
Yes,
But this
when
is
I
too
did,
urgent
I
to
did
wait.
misclick that, and it just
Arno and Yamada, both dead. This
blew
is
my
not
little
a
brain a little bit.
coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July are in danger. Take great care. X. I wasn't the only one to make the connection between the costume killer murders. I'd been right all along. That was why he had asked to meet me. But what did I know that he didn't? I had enough for a story. An amazing story that was going to make my reputation and blow Conscience to pieces. I needed to get home fast and start typing.
Yes, thank you. So it seems that what we were on about earlier on with trying to get that stupid thing out of the door, we don't need to, we just needed to solve that, so... Well, I needed to solve it, but you guys did help.
Nico, it's Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, you cracked open the champagne yet?
Are you crazy?
What's wrong? Wait a minute. You didn't print it, did you?
Of course I didn't print.
That's the best piece I've written.
The last, as far as I'm concerned.
It's important.
It's suicidal. You can't destroy a national hero.
He deserved it.
His corpse isn't even cold.
Ronnie, 2 hours ago I told you what I'd
She
found.
does get the
You
shit
loved
end of the
it.
stick out
You
of poor
begged me
Nico.
to write it up immediately.
2 hours is a long time in newspapers, Nico.
Someone's got to you, haven't they?
I mean,
Listen
who
up,
even
Nicole,
reads newspapers
and listen
anymore?
good. Pierre Carchon
You get
had a lot of
daily,
friends,
hourly,
powerful
secondly,
friends.
alerts
For
coming
your own
through,
sake.
like,
Forget
on the
what happened.
phones and through
You
email
got
about
it.
updates on news.
End of conversation. Good night.
End of conversation. Good night.
This should have been my big break, but I knew there was nowhere else to sell this story. If Ronnie wouldn't print it, nobody would.
I think this is the coming to the end of the first chapter
Collard.
of the
My name
new.
is Plantard.
Yeah.
I need to talk to you about your story. Your Pierre Carchon story.
How did
So
you
in the
know about
original
that?
There are people
of
out there,
Broken
madame,
Sword,
who
you
will be
didn't see
very
this whole story
upset
with
by
Nico?
this story.
Oh, really?
It
Well,
started
it's
on
their
the
lucky
part
day.
after this,
It's
which
been
is
spiked.
what I
Yes, I
remember it to
know.
be anyway.
We must meet.
We must?
I have information relating to your costume killer stories. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Café de la Chandelle Verte, Rue Alain Court. I shall be wearing a grey overcoat. You must talk to no one about this.
You can't tell me what to...
Tomorrow at 8. I'll be waiting.
I think the voices were put into the remake as well.
People complain about
A lot
newspaper
of it was
articles all the
just,
time, but not usually before they're printed.
Reading and
I was
subtitles.
beginning to feel scared. This guy, Plantard, could I trust him? Should I meet him or forget the whole business? I didn't have an answer.
I'd only been in Paris for a week, but already I'd fallen in love with the city. My latest discovery was a little cafe, La Chandelle Verte. I was pretty sure the waitress was taking a shine to me. That old Stobart charm, I guess. Little did I know my reverie was about to be so rudely interrupted.
To be fair, I think in the original they didn't have these cutscenes either. It's very much just the cutscenes were the game. I think a lot of the games were like that in the past. They didn't have like separate video scenes.
As I picked myself up, I was really angry. 1 minute I'm on vacation, the next minute some clown's blown me up. I knew right away what I was gonna do. I was gonna find that clown and bring him to justice. Because justice matters. Justice is up there with liberty, and equality, and, fraternity. After all, that's why I'd studied law, wasn't it? Well, that, no, money, of course.
Good old George. Or George, as Nico likes to call him.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. The column was devoted exclusively to rumor, gossip, and sensationalism.
There's a lot of noise coming out from outside, so
I noticed the
apologies if
writing
you
at
guys
the
can
foot
hear
of the
that.
page. It read, Salah Eddin, 1345.
Swanky, thanks very much for your help, and of course, being with me in this little journey. I'll probably be finishing the stream shortly anyway.
The big story was about
but
the brutal murder of a French media magnate.
what I'm going to
Shot
do is I'm going to
down
see if I
in
can
cold
come on this
The
evening
guy
just to carry on. But you
oozed
enjoy the
confidence,
kickabout with your lads. Thanks
like a
very
regular
much.
French
Bye.
statesman. I noticed the right. It read.
Yeah, so this was, obviously Swanky was here a little bit earlier on. This was basically just a test to see if my camera works. Obviously the lighting is kind of crap, very crap. I've got a very dark face, obviously. So what I'm
I
going to
considered
do
straightening the table.
is
table had been
have a little-
overturned.
Carry on having a little go. I've kind of lost my way with checking the camera as it's coming through on my stream, because I obviously have to look at my stream on my phone.
It was the body of the old... It was hard to...
But yeah, if anyone's still
Sight of
watching,
the dead
by all
guy's
means,
staring eyes
pop
turned
a
my knees
follow
to jelly. I tried not to
on
meet
my
his
stream.
stare
I'm going
as
to
I
try and
searched
stream
the
it
dead
again a
man's
little bit later on
pockets.
today. I don't know
No
if I'll have the
wallet,
camera
no
on
papers,
though.
no credit card.
I'll definitely
The guy's
try
past was a
again
blank
to do it
page.
tomorrow. I don't know if there's anything that I can actually pop up on the window because I've just got blinds. I haven't got a curtain pole or anything. But yeah, so I think what I will do is I will leave that here. It's been really nice. You probably see my my face just like squinting at the screen, so I'm gonna have to sort my face out. But yeah, thanks very much for anyone who's watched the stream. Please send me a follow. I always follow back, so even if you guys do or don't. But yeah, thanks very much, and I will see you guys later. Bye.